and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about all things fashion, finding your personal style, what sort of things I look for when I'm shopping, and also some wardrobe disasters. But before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, and they ship all over the world. And talking of fashion, they also sell lots of different equestrian and country fashion there as well, from Lemure to Fairfax and Favour. But thought I would let you know because April is around the corner, and do you know what that means in April? The weather in the UK, it is everything. So for example, today we had a frost this morning, and then later on it's going to be 17 degrees C. So it's going to go from freezing to really, really warm. And do you know what that means? You need to be thinking about what your horses are wearing, what sort of rugs you're wearing. I know that my horses soon are going to be in fly rugs because I feel like every April, I don't know if this is just where we are, but all the little midges, they wake up, they come out, and it's always in the evenings, just before I put the horses in, they come out and they attack them. So you best believe that my horses are going to have their fly rugs on soon. So anyway, get your fly rugs, get all your equestrian needs at redpostequestrian.co.uk. Anyway, let's get into today's episode because this might be a little bit random, but I've been really enjoying swimming lately. Like, Esme, how has swimming to do with fashion? But anyway, when you're swimming, I've come to the conclusion that your brain does wander, because it's not like when you're at the gym, you often have your headphones on, you're listening to music, you're listening to the words of the lyrics, that kind of thing. But when you're swimming, your mind really does wander. And I basically, as I was having my little swimming sesh the other day, planned out this whole podcast episode. So there we go. Instead of getting your thoughts in the shower, this is your little time to go swimming. Go swimming, and, that inspiration will come to you. But anyway, I thought this would be a really fun podcast episode to do because I love all things fashion, if you couldn't already tell. But also, I was thinking to myself, I didn't have a big sister growing up that could kind of give me fashion advice and what to wear and that sort of thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm very, very lucky to have my mum who did help me, but I feel like my mum is not, like, she's not really super into fashion, she's not super glam, like, that's just not her kind of style, which is fair enough, everybody's different. When I am more of like I would say, into fashion. My nana, though, she would take me shopping, and she's definitely given me a lot of fashion tips and advice over the years. So I thought I would kind of compile that into one video, especially as now I'm kind of older. I feel like when you're a teenager, you're kind of trying to figure out your style, what works, what you like, what you don't like. I think I've kind of finally got to the stage where I've found what I like, and I know, like, when I'm shopping, things to look out for, things that are like, yes, this is a good item of clothing, or no. So I thought I'd talk about that because the other day, because now it's spring, I was having a big old spring clean in my wardrobe, going through things, and I'm at the stage now where if I remove an item from my wardrobe to, I don't know, donate to the charity shop, or we have like a local bin at our recycling place that you pop that in there and it goes to people who need clothing. But anyway, so I thought, as I was clearing out my wardrobe, oh my goodness, like when I was younger, normally you would clear things out of your wardrobe because you'd like grow out of them. But I feel like I've got to the stage now in life where I have been the same size for a long while, and I know that will change one day because, like humans, all bodies change over time. But anyway, I've got to the stage now where I'm removing items of clothing because they've either been worn out or have got a stain that I can't get out of, or things like that. So I thought, you know what, I there's a lot, like when I'm buying things now, they have got to last me like a long old time. And I think clothing, like especially in shops nowadays, the quality of things has gone down. So I have got some top tips of finding a personal style, like finding what suits you. Because, for example, so first thing I thought we'd talk about is colours, which I didn't think was such a big thing. But there are some colours, like I love a baby yellow, especially in spring. I think it's such a cute colour. I think it's so pretty. But yellow, I'd say, is one of the most difficult colours to suit different types of skin tones, especially me, because I am quite a pale person. I find it does wash me out a little bit. So it's one of those things where maybe yellow I wouldn't wear as like a top or a jumper, but maybe like a cute little bag, so it's not as close to my face. So yeah, that's the first thing that normally I look for when I'm shopping, is colours. So I've kind of figured out what colours suit me. You can do like a little online test to see which ones suit you best. One colour that I think I would wear all the time if I had blue eyes is blue, because people who have blue eyes, when they wear a blue top, oh my goodness, it looks incredible. My eyes are kind of like, there's not really any colours that really brings them out, I don't think, because my eyes are hazel. I want to say hazel. Lots of people told me they're different colours. Some people say brown, some people say green. I think it's because my eyes are kind of like hazel in the middle and then green around the outside. They're like lots of different colours, but anyway. So normally especially in like a dark room like now, unless I'm like, my eyes are burning into the sun, they'd often just kind of look like a browny, hazely colour. But I sometimes find if I have like a more a shimmery eyeshadow, sometimes that can bring them out. But anyway, but yes, so colours and patterns. Also, that's another thing that you look for. Like when I'm going through the rails at shops or that kind of thing, patterns, figuring out what you like, what you don't like. I know that my sort of style is very like, I love stripes. Actually, that was one thing that I got taken the mick out of when Batman and me first started dating. He was like, all you wear are stripes. I don't know what it is. I mean, they're timeless. You can't go wrong with a stripe, especially a vertical stripe. But anyway, so the stripes. I also like wearing lots of floral patterns as well, especially in spring. I found that spring and summer is like the time for me, because for example, I'm wearing this little pink cardigan. You wouldn't see this in the winter. I mean, because it's cardigan, it's quite thin. But this sort of colour, I feel like the shops nowadays, they only do bright colours in spring and summer. In the winter, it is so boring because everything is neutrals now. And I do like a little bit of colour in my wardrobe. So that's first thing, colours. Next is shape of like items of clothing, which I didn't realise was such a big thing until I've got older. So I've come to the conclusion that I quite like things with not like a super low neckline, because don't want to be exposed myself, but I often nowadays, especially long sleeve tops, I go for tops that are a little bit of a lower neckline, and that is because often in the winter I like to wear a nice long sleeve top underneath my jumpers, and I often find, I don't know, it just looks a little bit like weird if you have a top on that's like a bit that's higher neck than your jumper, because then you can see the top underneath. I like, sometimes this sounds really weird, but I like to wear a jumper with no top underneath, especially if I know that it's like a place that I'm not gonna get hot. Like I remember there was this I can't remember if it was a reel or something, and it was like you're gonna take your jumper, like, oh, I'm really hot, I want to take my jumper off, and they're like, I can't take it off. That was audio, it was from ages ago, but that's because they didn't have a top on underneath, which I have done before. But you know what, maybe it's because I'm quite a chilly person. Like I normally, if I've got a jumper on, I'm always keeping it on. So that is one thing. Also, for me, like I feel like every person has a different body type, and every person has something that they don't like about themselves, and that's just, you know, being human. For me, I have a slightly smaller chest than the average woman, so I often wear tops that I know that I could wear a bra with. Also, this is like, I do have like a whole section on this, which might be a little bit TMI, but I've got a question for you, because surely one person on this podcast wears backless tops. But I feel like a few months ago, every time I was shopping, all of the tops were backless, and now I do not know who these tops are designed for. Because I like to wear a bra, so, you know, it looks like I got a little bit of something there, something a little bit more, you know. I'm not going to lie, I do like to wear a bra with a bit of padding. But also, my friends who have a slightly larger chest, they're not going to be going braless, because they need something to, you know, have a bit of support, hold the girls. So there must be like a very, very small percent of the population that can wear these tops, no bra, and be comfortable, because I have yet to find somebody. Maybe it's because of my friendship group. There's either the big chest girls or the small chest girls, and we always joke how we need to like share. But anyway, because it's, yeah, the boob distribution, it's very unequal. Anyway, moving on. So that is one thing that also I feel like when I look at a top, I always think, what bra can I wear this with? Sorry to the men and the boys that are listening to today's podcast episode, because you probably won't be having this issue. But it is a big thing that you really do have to think about. Like, especially going into summer, like summer dresses, summer tops, often they have smaller straps or they, again, have open backs. And there will be the cutest dress. There'll be the cutest dress. I'll pick it up. And if I see the back has no straps or it's backless or that kind of thing, it is going straight back on the rack. Because for me, that is just like a no-go. I like to wear a bra. I like to have something there. So that is one thing that I always look for also. And another big thing, I think every girl should have, and my friends are going to be like, Esme, you're saying this because you have small boobs, but a good strapless bra. I know some of my friends, they would laugh in my face if I said you should have a good strapless bra. But if your chest permits, I would say a good strapless bra or a nude bra as well. I have this one really good one, which I know I can wear with almost any top. Because also, when it comes to bra shopping, don't get me wrong, sometimes with a bit of lace is cute, but if you're wearing a tight top, I don't know what it is, but I always quite like to wear a t-shirt bra. Maybe that's just me, but I don't want my boobs to look lumpy. Does that make sense? Like, this is something that men just don't really have to think about. But I have like certain bras for certain tops. And I think I've kind of got to the stage now where I've kind of figured out what works and what doesn't. But that's something, that you got to think about sometimes. Anyway, let's okay, we're going to change the subject now. We're going to move away from bras. And next is size, making sure that something like fits. So I've got to, now I don't know. I've always been like this. I've got a few friends that I'll go shopping with, and they're like, "Yep, this will be fine. I'll buy this." And I'm like, "You're not going to try it on." I am that person. All of my friends hate me if I go shopping with them. I will try on every item of clothing before I buy it, because at the end of the day, women, we all have different body shapes. We all have different shapes and sizes, and some things are just designed for a certain type of person and some things aren't. And you know what? That's all right. Sometimes you just got to try them on. So I've got to the stage now. I know, I feel like the most difficult types of like shopping is probably the top one is shopping for jeans. Shopping for jeans and trousers, because I went through this, I can't remember, maybe I was like 15, 16, and I was like, okay, I need to buy a new pair of jeans. And I probably went to about, if you're going jean shopping, you got to take a whole day out. Like, you got to try on so many different pairs to figure out what is comfy and what fits, because nothing is worse than an uncomfy pair of jeans that's like, feels like it's splitting you in two, or super baggy around the waist, but then super tight round your thighs, or it you know what? It's a difficult time. But once you figure out what brand or what shop you can get your jeans from that fits, it's brilliant. Because then once you know, and you know your size, to be fair, I still try stuff on, because I feel like women's sizes nowadays, can we just talk about that? Because it is ridiculous. Sometimes I'll go and be like, yep, this is my normal size, I'll try it on. And I'll be like 2 sizes bigger. Or some shops I'll go into, I'll try my normal size on, and I'll end up being 2 sizes smaller. Like, the range, depending on the shop, is ridiculous. So never feel bad if you're trying some clothes on and you're like, you know what? I'm not my normal size. That is often because women's sizes, they're just, you never know. That is why I try everything on, because they are so not consistent, which is annoying. But anyway, here we are. So once you figure out your brand and your shop where you're like, yes, these sort of jeans fit me, the world becomes a better place. Also, when it comes to, like dress shopping, that can be quite tricky as well. Like, whenever I have like a ball or an occasion or that kind of thing, my little secret life hack, if you have like a ball or occasion or weddings, I'm getting to the age now where I feel like in the next few years, I'm probably going to be invited to a lot of weddings, which sounds wild to say, but a little life hack, because I have done this for like red carpets and things like that before. You can hire dresses from, I know like John Lewis, they have like a whole page. There's lots of different shops that do dresses for hire, because a lot of the times when you're going to these formal occasions, like especially in today's society, which I think is a bit ridiculous, is that you have to wear, it feels like you have to wear a new outfit or a new dress or a new kind of item of clothing to an event. If not, it's like, oh, you wore that thingy's wedding. It looks like you haven't put any effort in. But you can hire these dresses for the fraction of a price, and often these are very nice dresses. I'm talking like £200-300 dresses, and you can just pay like a fraction of the price and hire it out for a weekend, which is fabulous because then, number one, better for the environment because once you've worn it, you can just take it back to the shop. You don't have like a whole wardrobe of clutter of things. And also, yeah, better for the environment. Less things are being made, less things are being produced. So that is my little life hack that I've discovered, which is brilliant. So yeah, also with balls and things like that as well. Hire out a ball dress or hire out a party dress or prom dress or whatever. There we go. A lot cheaper alternative. So, because I've got a lot of friends that splashed out a lot of money on their prom dress, which is like, fair enough. But then they're like, I haven't worn it since. I know some people want to keep it. Like, to be fair, like if I get married one day, I would want to keep my wedding dress. But I don't know. I don't have that much of an attachment to my prom dress. I don't know. People are different. So now you're at the stage where you're like, okay, I found my personal style. I found the things that make me feel confident, that I like wearing. Also, comfort is a really big thing because I often find in the morning when I'm going into my wardrobe and I'm deciding what I'm going to wear that day, I often pick things down to comfort. For example, the jeans I'm wearing now, they actually have a little bit of stretch in them. So I love wearing these pair of jeans when I'm going out to dinner somewhere because I know that I'm going to be like sitting down for a long period of time. Often after I've eaten, I get a little bit bloated as well. So I know they've got a bit of stretch to them, which is great. So that's also like another thing when you try things on. Not only does it fit properly, because I think the number one thing that if an item of clothing looks good on someone is, does it actually fit them? I feel like that's a really big thing. But also, is it comfortable? If you wear something you're like, oh, maybe the straps are digging a little bit, or maybe it's like a little bit tight there, like you're not going to want to pick that item of clothing out of your wardrobe every morning, however much you like it, even if it's the cutest thing you've ever seen. Also, that's one other thing when I'm shopping. If it's a maybe, then it's a no. If it's not a, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this, like I want to buy this in every single colour, every single option, then it's a no. Because, I don't know, there's some things where I've been like, oh, do I like this? Do I not? Like, I'm not sure. That is a no. So if it's a maybe, it's a no. That is like a big thing that I always think when I'm shopping. Also, if you're buying anything white, the quality is actually a really big thing that I look for when I'm shopping as well. Because the amount of times I've been like, oh, this is the cutest, like, white summer dress. I've gone and tried it on, and you can see my pants through it, which is not what you want. Wardrobe disaster. Again, with basically anything white, like linen trousers. I love a good pair of linen trousers. But if you can see your pants through, that is not the vibe. I mean, that's not what I would want people to see anyway. So that is also a big thing. Basically, anything light coloured, make sure that it's not see-through. Even dark colours. So I tried on this like lovely, stretchy, dark coloured, long sleeve black top. And you could see my bra through it. And I was like, ooh, that's, again, not the vibe. So especially in today's society, check the quality, even like little things. Look at the stitching. Make sure that there's no like loose threads, or see even the quality of, the stitching. Sometimes you can see like, oh, that's not very straight, or that's not very good. And you think, oh, if that looks like that now, what's it going to be, 2 years time? Will it even last that long? If you're putting, also one thing that I've looked at, I quite like having a little look through Vinted, especially for items that are like branded. For example, I am so excited about this purchase. So next week's podcast episode, I've got a funny story about, I've got into cycling. I feel like I'm on this like little fitness kick at the moment. I love it. I don't know what it is, but like just getting outside and doing exercise has just been so good for my mental health. But anyway, I was like, I need to get a new bright coloured jacket, like a bright coloured like rain jacket. And I was looking at ones online. I was like, I could get a really like high vis one, but I'm not going to be riding my bike like at dark time. Like it does, like my bike has reflective stuff on anyway. I just need something that's a bright colour. So I thought, I'm going to look for like a little, I went on Vinted, looked at North Face jackets, because I've got a North Face coat that I've had for 10 plus years and it's still going, it still fits me, the quality is really good. So I was like, see if I can find one online secondhand, because again, secondhand is good for the environment. Had a little look, and they had so many in like hot pink, and I was like, perfect, I'm gonna get this hot pink. It was only like 20 quid, £20, and it was certified. Like they took a picture of all the like logos and the reflective thing on the inside to make sure it wasn't, some knockoff. But it's great. So happy with that. I've been wearing that around on my hikes and things. You can see me coming, so I don't have to be worried about, getting run over and things like that, because it is bright, it is luminous. So that is a little top tip. If there is something that you want to buy that is branded, that you know the brand is high quality, look online at secondhand things that you can find some good. You can find some very good prices and very good steals. Anyway, but since having a look on, these secondhand sites, it makes me think, like, a top that you would maybe buy for £20 is going on Vinted for £2. So it really makes you think, when you're buying something, if you had to resell that, or actually often when I'm looking through my wardrobe or looking through my things, I was like, would I buy that for double the price? That is often what I think also. Do I like this item enough that I would buy this for double the price? So that is something that I also think when I'm shopping as well. Next, now you have your wardrobe, you have your stuff at home. Most people have clothes at home, as what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. Next is styling, which I didn't really realise made such a difference until recently, because often in your day-to-day life, you don't really think about, putting on like a cute little bracelet, or maybe some people do, but I work with horses. A lot of the time I'm out in the mud, that kind of thing. But if I'm, meeting up with a friend or going out or going to the city, which for me is a big thing, I often quite like to, really style up my outfits. And I just think that makes such a huge difference. Some people are going to be listening to this podcast being like, Esme, I knew all this. This isn't revolutionary. But if I was younger and I was listening to this would have really helped me, because again, I didn't have a big sister to tell me these things. So anyway, one thing that I find makes a huge difference is accessories. So that could be like, sometimes if I have my hair back, I quite like to put like a cute little scrunchie in my hair, or a bow, or like a cute little hair clip. Other things, like sometimes I like to wear like jewelry. So I often always have a necklace on. It's just something that I've just done for the last goodness knows how many years. I call it my emotional support necklace. You'll often see a few different ones in rotation where I'll just put it on and I'll just forget I have it on. I think I quite like to use it as almost like a little fidget toy. Like I'll just kind of use it to I don't know, play around with. But also I think I love necklaces, and I think often they can really elevate your outfit. Like if you just have a plain black top on, kind of boring, but if you have a cute necklace with it, it just adds a little bit more pizzazz. The same with, I love a belt, often because, again, women's sizes, and also, I know that my size or my shape fluctuates depending on lots of different things, so a belt is always useful because you don't want your trousers falling down. So often, even if I have some jeans or some trousers that fit super well, I always like to wear a belt because it just makes me feel a little bit more put together. Especially if I have a shirt on, I like to tuck it into my belt. I just think it looks so professional, so smart and classy as well. So getting a good quality belt, I think, is something that, because there are some items that I would say save your pennies on, like a basic top, a basic jumper. Like you can get some, or like cardigan, like this one here was not very expensive at all. You can get sort of day-to-day items like that from your local high street. But there are some things where I was like, if you're going to invest some money into, maybe spend a little bit more to save in the long run. For example, over the years, like when I was younger, when I was working my job at my local vet's practice for minimum wage, cleaning up dog poo and blood and goodness knows what, I was like, okay, I was very stingy with my money. So for example, the belt I had was very cheap, very low quality, and within a year it basically perished. So now I'm very lucky. Now I'm older, I've been working for a long time, I've saved up money. If I'm buying something like a belt, I would probably pay just that little bit more money, so it would last me in the long run, which is not only good for the environment but also good for your pockets as well. So I'd say a belt is something where buy nice rather than buy twice, if you know what I mean. So I'd say things like that. Also shoes, I would say, is something that I probably would spend a little bit more money on, just because maybe this is down to me because I have really flat feet. I don't know if this is a bit weird. I have really flat feet, so I have to make sure that I wear a good quality pair of shoes. If not, just walking is not very good. So I am that person. I feel like an old granny, but I am that person that likes to wear insoles with arch support. Literally, I sound like I'm so old. But a good quality pair of shoes for your foot health. Because one thing that I didn't really realise is, like, if you wore a really bad quality pair of shoes and you weren't, that can really affect, like, how you walk, how you move. Like, that can really affect your hips. Like, you guys know, I have a few back problems. So just little things like that. I'd say shoes was quite a good idea to invest a little bit more money into if you have it. So that is one thing. That's another thing. So yeah, accessorizing. So I quite like, you guys know me, I like to be colour coordinated. I like a bit of matchy, but that is one thing. Like, if especially in a professional point of view, so if I have black shoes on, I often go for a black kind of belt to match, or if I have tan shoes on, I go for a tan shoe. That was a tongue twister. If I have tan shoes on, I go for a tan belt to match. There we go. And same with like bags and that kind of thing. And like, honestly, if you're just starting off with like your wardrobe or your professional wardrobe as well, because that is one thing that I kind of felt like I was thrown into the deep end when I was 16. I think it was so good that my school did this. So I went to sixth form college after finishing high school, secondary school, where I did my A-level exams. It's like a thing in the UK. Anyway, so for that, my sixth form college, you had to wear business casual to school or to college. When I know that a lot of colleges in the UK, you can literally just turn up in jeans and t-shirt, trackies, leggings, whatever. I think a lot of people did that because they just roll out of bed being a teenager first thing in the morning, just, you know, some people probably went in their pajamas from what my friend told me because she went to a different college. But anyway, my college was like, okay, you have to come into school every day wearing business casual to basically set you up or prepare you for your future. Because when you first start like a corporate job or a job like that, I at 16 had no idea what I was supposed to wear. And I think definitely shops recently have incorporated a lot more kind of business casual into their things. Like, often, like, I go to high street shops and you'll see like a little corner will be like all the blazers, all of the trousers, all of the waistcoats. They've come back. I remember when waistcoats were like a big thing in the early 2000s, little denim waistcoat. I didn't expect to see them back, but you know what, with fashion, what goes around comes around. So whatever you're wearing, wear what you like, not what the fashion trends say, because things change all the time. I remember when I was a teenager, it was all about skinny jeans. Now it's all about wide leg jeans, and skinny jeans probably come back around. Tell you what jeans I've been loving recently, actually. I love flared jeans, which I know are very 70s, but I find them so comfy. Maybe it's because all of my pairs have a bit of stretch in them, so I don't know. Find what you enjoy and what suits you. So there's that. Anyway, back to business casual. I feel like I think New Look was a shop that I actually was the only really one that did like a whole business casual kind of section, because I don't really remember back in the day, so I'm sounding like a dinosaur, but pre-COVID there was a shop called Topshop that was like the teenager shop that everybody went to. RIP Topshop, you are missed. I think it maybe still exists online. It's one of those kind of things, but it was the place to be. I don't really remember them, and maybe they did have like a little business casual kind of section, but anyway, I feel like it's really come into business casual is like the thing that everybody's wearing now. I blame Molly May because she looks so good in all of her blazers and all of her like linen trousers and, you know, suit trousers and that kind of thing. But I feel like that's really come into fashion lately. Maybe it's because more people are going into the corporate world. Anyways, girl bossing. Anyway, moving on. So that was one thing that my sixth form college, I do thank them for, was that they made me wear business casual every day, which really made me kind of figure out what I liked wearing, especially when you're sitting down at school or in an office or working. You want to be wearing something comfortable because you are going to be sitting in that thing all day. So there we go. That's a little top tip for business casual. Make sure that you're looking professional and that you're comfy. So yes, I think that is everything that I've got written down on my little notes when I was planning this podcast episode. And one of the other reasons why it kind of really sparked me to talk about this is because me and my friend went shopping the other day, and we are both very different body types. Like, we both look very, very different. And there was like one top that I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And she was like, I could never wear that. And then she picked out something else. I was like, oh, that's really cute, but that would just like not fit me, or I couldn't wear that. Like, it just wouldn't suit me. So it goes to show, like, what's that really cheesy quote, but it's actually really cute. Flowers look different to the stars, but they're both equally beautiful. They just look different. So there we go. On that note, we're going to finish off today's podcast episode there. I really hope you enjoyed listening to my thoughts on fashion, what I look out for when I'm shopping. Make sure that, you're feeling confident in what you're wearing, and that's the main thing. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you to Red Post for sponsoring the podcast. Go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!